Hey, and welcome to the Dad FC Football Podcast. You are joined as always by myself, Glenn, and my mate Jan.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good, very good. The weekend, being busy for us both for different reasons.
Yeah.
Yours sound a bit more exciting than mine, though.
Yeah, bought a new car, which is good.
Yeah.
Well, bought a new proper upgrade in size is what we needed.
A family car.
Family car, yeah. So we bought a Kia Sportage.
Sensible car.
Some may say Sportage, but I say Sportage.
Is that just to try and make it sound like it's not a complete midlife crisis, just a bit of a one?
But yeah, so we bought that, drove down to Stockton to pick it up. The guy's like, "Want this much for it?" And I'm like, "Will you do this much?" And he's like, "No." And then he's like, I was like, "Will you do this much?" He's like, "Okay." He's probably driven. I'm driven away thinking like, "Mug." He's probably driven thinking, "Mug." but no, it's good. Good family. An upgrade from the Focus to get a bit more space for the farm.
More room for toys.
More room for toys, yeah. And I've like put a throw down and stuff before. Like I've put the car seats in, and I was just. And I also claimed yesterday. I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna clean it out. I'm gonna be out washing it." But
yeah, that'll last once, maybe twice, and then you're like, nah.
Once Freddie's like just hiding stuff around in it. And then we had a trip out and about on the weekend, just out in the countryside. We did go to this. We did pull in to see this sort of castle. I thought we could go and walk on the grounds, and there's a lady showing people over the car park, and I was like, "So you just go in there and just pay for that?" I was like, "Do you pay for the grounds?" And she's like, "Yeah, pay for that." I'm like, Freddie's not going to have the castle, so I was like, "Okay," then just turned around and drove straight out. She's like, "Where you going? You park here?" I was like, "It's okay." Driving that.
Gotta go.
So busy-ish weekend, but good.
Nice. Well, we had an hour and a half to myself, so I decided, hour and a half to myself, so I decided to do some jobs around the house.
Nice.
Or not around the house, more like the bar, the garage.
It looks good. It looks spacious.
A bit more space there, yeah. But some ultimate man points did a tip run. A good classic tip run. So I went in the garage and like got rid of all some of the things which you build up over Christmas and New Year.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you just thing, and I just put it in the garage. I came across like an old Hoover. God, I didn't even know we had a spare Hoover, but that went in there, and like there's some bits of wood which were offcuts from this, which must have been from like lockdown one. That got thrown in the back. There was like some bin bags. And then I came across like cardboard box which was like cherished photos I got threw in. And I came across this other box. I didn't throw it away by hand. Came across this other box. I was like, I wonder that is, because like a decent size. Opened it up, and there was like one of my good polo shirts which I haven't seen for years, and then below that was another 2 or 3 shirts, and it was like a pair of my old jeans. And it was like when we moved in this house 2.5 years ago, Andrew was heavily pregnant, and she'd gone away for the day with her sister. I stood done most of the moving in, and the removals guy had like just thrown boxes all over the shop, and this box of all my good clothes had been like bunged in the garage for like 2.5 years. So I was like,
Pans in the bedroom.
Yeah. So I came across a full new wardrobe, which was pretty exciting.
Decent. Do you know, I did a skip run. Do you know the weather was bad?
Yeah.
And I put like same thing in the shed, everything that was needed to get me out. The old TV, that was just like done in. So that was like in the back. So the Ford car seats out, seats dropped at the back. Full laden, drove there, got there. Because of the inclement weather and the wind, we shut that. I was like absolutely furious. Then drive back and then refill the shed full of all the stuff I was trying to get rid of. I was absolutely. And Neil was like, "What's he going on?" I was like, chucking the TV and like.
Anyway, you've downloaded the Tip Run podcast right now. So before this is just like a therapy session. This podcast once a week, isn't it? So if you're still listening, we'll talk some football now. So what's your favourite tip to go to, Jan? I'm joking.
Quite a fan of the website.
Right. Spurs, West Ham. Should we go there first, mate?
Speaking of tips.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to start down the London derby. Good game.
3-1. Mm-hmm. Okay, and next we'll go talk about
vintage Harry Kane.
Yeah, Kane and Son. Like, it could have potentially been could have been a hat trick, couldn't it? 3 assists for Kane and 3 assists for Son, but Zuma decided to own goal the first one.
Yeah, and then Son at the post as well, which would have been a Kulusevski assist as well.
Mm.
They're like a good front three. He's started in really well, hasn't he?
Yeah. So, they're looking like a serious outfit now. Do you think they've left it too late to make a run for fourth? Because I think we're kind of saying it's between three. Man United, you got Man United's on 29 games with 50 points. Tottenham's on 29 games, 51. Arsenal's on 28 or 54. Arsenal still have to play Liverpool.
No, they played them last week, didn't they? Got beat last week.
So it's one of the other big ones, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tottenham, Man United, and West Ham. They've got a tough run in. They do have that game in hand. They're 3 points ahead, but still 10 games left. There's a lot can happen in 10 games. Still 30 points to play for. I don't think you can bank on that 3 points there. Like Tottenham, are they getting the typical Harry Kane running towards the end of the season?
Yeah, maybe. I think the additions that Conte's brought in, albeit only a few of them, but Bentancur looks really classy.
Mm-hmm.
He had a really good game actually against West Ham. There's a couple of times where he was little tight spots and like just in the front of his own box, and he was like a bit quick feet to get out of it, or night seats. They can see a pass. He looks like a really good buy. So I think they need to keep players fit. They don't have Europe.
Yeah.
Which obviously, I think that's West Ham's race definitely run, as you say.
Yeah, because West Ham now are 6 points. They've played one game above Tottenham, Man United, 2 over Arsenal. So I think you can rule them out and it's dropped down to 3-horse race for fourth.
I still think Arsenal now. I do think Arsenal have thought Arsenal for the last couple of games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to jump ahead, but Arsenal beating Villa, who are in good form, was like, that's a kind of banana skin that you would, if you like, that's the kind of place like Man United would go and falter, or Spurs might go and falter, but Arsenal seem to be winning those games. So, but Kane and Son, brilliant again. People talk about telepathic, like, oh, they've got this telepathic understanding. I don't think so. I just think
they're really good.
I think Son just knows Kane's got like great vision and it can see a pass, or he just gets on his bike as soon as he drops in midfield.
Yeah, he's got that way of just hanging off the last defender. Like his timing's class.
And Kane's actually got like superb vision. He's like a brilliant playmaker in general. So,
but then it comes back to the last season. Kane could have gone to Man City. Did Tottenham have enough to go and win anything? Like, how long can you keep them two together before you say, look, Tottenham ain't going to win now. It's time to go and play someone else for both of them.
Yeah, I mean that might be one of the big issues in terms of Spurs as well. If they lose Harry Kane, is Son also going to be like, right, I'm off skis as well? Because there'll be a bunch of teams in Europe want Son as well. Who could go and like score a hat full of goals and somewhere else. So, but yeah, it was just generally a really good Spurs performance. West Ham looked super leggy. Only made 2 changes from 120 minutes of football against Sevilla in the Europa League, which was like.
I don't think he's got anyone to bring on though, is he? Like.
Yeah, I mean, they're not like this Vlasic and stuff. He didn't come on later on. When didn't start, he came on.
Yeah. So
there could have been changes they made, but
he's like giving Antonio a chance after chance. Like, come on, just get back into form. You have to play a striker to get back into form. What's that, like 3 and 20 odd games now? And he had that one chance where actually I think Kane played him through, didn't he? Pretty early on, Kane almost 4 assists.
That'd have been good. That.
Yeah. But you pulled it wide and it's just not clicking from it. I think it goes back to that January transfer window. That's where West Ham had the opportunity to really reinforce. And I know you made Charlie's probably listen to this, or hopefully he still listens, and he's getting agitated. But it'd be great to hear from West Ham fans. Do they feel the same?
Yeah, I think I would imagine they feel they've missed the boat in terms of top 4 because of not signing a striker and capitalising on the position.
Just these opportunities only come around, like, you know, when Leicester had the chance and they had to go for it and they did. This was almost like West Ham's chance, like to get Champions League football. We've said it before, Man United, Tottenham not in form, Arsenal this is a kind of resurgent, and if they get 4th, I do think it's overachieving. This was the year West Ham should have gone absolutely all out to make some stuff happen.
Yeah, they could have just picked up a decent striker. And it would have made, I think it would have made a massive difference. Because Antonio is a player that gets on runs, doesn't he? He naturally gets on these runs of like 10 goals in 8 games and a bunch of assists. So him being that kind of player that gets on those runs, then you the adverse effect happens. He gets all the runs away, doesn't score for a few games, and when you add in the fact that they're playing European football,
Bourne's injured as well,
but yeah, that's obviously massive for them. But also just that the even the European football when Anthony wasn't playing sometimes earlier on, is as much preparation into so maybe it's you add all that in. I think he's just desperate for a bit of a rest. So this
desperate
actually
for a rest, and every week's on the team sheet like start. Like, come on,
doing Moises around his house like, come on, get up.
Waking up in the morning.
I
don't want to go to school today.
So I think this like fortnight, whatever it is, for the next game might be really good for them.
It might be, but I think it's
for Champions League. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, their race is run, I think, and that's. But I think if you ask West Ham fans, would you rather qualification in top 4, or would you rather the last 4, the final of the winning the Europa League? You know, they bite your hand off the Europa League, surely.
Yeah, I think you would. If you get the chance of winning something in Europe, because Champions League has gone, so you've got.
Yeah, and you might not even qualify. You get a Champions League 4th. You still got to get through. Like you still got to play some decent side to get. I mean, Everton qualified and got knocked out. They qualified under Moyes, and then they got knocked out in the qualifiers.
Yeah.
So that's sort of stuff happens. So they're currently in Europe. By the way, I don't want to be talk a huge amount about European football.
Yeah.
Beating Sevilla, who I think have won, so they have won 4 of the last 8 Europa Leagues. I think it is something daft like that, which is ridiculous if you think of that. So yeah, I mean, beating them over 120 minutes was brilliant. So yeah, no, I'll be there. I think they're the side of the draw where they might have to play Barcelona. I don't want a night in Barcelona, or do you want to try and shut up shop against somebody and get top 4? I know I'd rather.
Poor West Ham. Tough shift there.
Yeah.
Let's go on to the Friday night game. So we had Wolves 2.
Yeah.
Leeds 3. And this was such a bizarre game because Wolves have almost forgot how to defend all of a sudden.
It was nuts.
They took the lead 2-0. And then Jimenez, your boy, got sent off for the second time in the season.
Yeah. I don't know. So I watched this. It was like a ridiculous game. First half, Leeds were like absolutely terrible. Like they really were poor, and Wolves were like comfortably in control, like really easily in control. Trincao had definitely had his best game. Definitely, he looked really good. He got an assist, and then his goal he took really well. But then the sending off was like a coming together between Jimenez and Meslier.
Yeah, I saw because that was the second yellow, wasn't it?
Second yellow.
I saw the second one. I never saw the first, but
the second yellow was like it was more as if Meslier cleared the ball and then clattered into Jimenez. Like they're both going for the ball. It doesn't have to be a booking. It just that doesn't have to be a booking. That he's not going. It's no malicious, no intent. Doesn't try to hurt him in any way, shape, or form. It's late, but it's not late. Like it's not like a challenge. It's like a 50-50 where you've just been beaten by like not even a second. So I thought it was a really harsh second yellow, and that's a booking these days, man. It's less contact. There's more contact in basketball these days than there is in football. It's true though. It's so. I feel that
finally, after about 35 episodes, you come on my way of thinking, yeah. Let players just clap on each other now and again.
Yeah, let's just smash them. Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't even like a mad like crazy 50-50. It was just two guys going for the ball, competing for the ball. Yeah. So, but after that, yeah, as you say, like Wolves just went absolutely nuts. Like
forgot one thing which I associate with Wolves is they've got some dogged defending, like. They can shut up shop if need to when they hard to score against. Like it was comical.
It was actually so bad.
Absolutely comical. Some of the defending.
Yeah, I don't know where Max Kilman was. Willie Bolly played. I haven't seen him. The lesser spotted Willie Bolly. He's not seen him for a while. I don't think he personally had a particularly bad game, but I don't know if that set off things or whatever. But the second goal, The second goal was genuinely laughable.
Who was it that tried to clear? I think it was like the second attempt. I think there's a save.
Galen hits the post, doesn't it?
And it comes back over the scuffle. It goes back over to the far side.
I think
again.
it's size, but he gets beaten to it by.
And he launches the ball up in the air.
Oh, I think that was a different goal. That wasn't it.
There's that many comical defender, and that's why we're getting.
So the second goal was.
No, that was the first one. You know.
Oh, yeah. Alan hit the post.
Yeah.
And then it bounced out, and then he beat Sice to the ball.
Yeah.
And then Cody, like being the one guy that can still defend the team, is on the he clears it.
Yeah.
And it falls straight to Harrison. Oh, because the second goal was like where Jose Sarr, who's been brilliant this season, it was just like, where's he going? Like Jose Sarr suddenly was turned into a puppy chasing the ball, like just running around the box.
But there's an attempt for one of the Wolves defenders to clear it, and he slices it and just goes straight up. Like this is literally schoolboy or Sunday League, like defending. It was so bad. It was like funny to watch, and then
it was like panic, wasn't it? Though it was like I think Jimmy Carragher said it was like panicking. It really was just total panic.
And then the third one was a scramble from the
corner.
The corner
free kick, I think was it.
Corner free kick was definitely came from the corner, on the pitch. And Alan of all people is there just to smash it between Sarr's legs, and
because he actually heads it back over to keep it in.
Yeah.
And then Willie Bonney heads it like kind of uppish in the air, and then like it just kind of bounces around. And
have another try.
yeah, and then like he runs back on and does the world's worst Robbie Keane celebration.
Oh yeah, no, that was horrendous, wasn't it?
I do feel quite sorry for him because if you remember his lockdown one after Project Restart, he scored an absolute belter, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's obviously got long hair, and he did a power knee slide, took his hairband off, played like a rock and roll guitar, VAR, offside. So he's probably thinking, let's do some absolutely awful Robbie Keane impression instead. But that's an absolutely massive win for Leeds. That
because that's puts Leeds now 7 points clear. They've played 30 games, which is 3 more than Everton, 1 more than Watford, 3 more than Burnley, but they've got that 7-point cushion in the relegation scrap. 7 points is.
What would you rather have? Would you rather be in their position, having played a couple more than Burnley, 1 more than Watford?
Yeah, always.
I mean, obviously, you'd rather have.
I'd always go for points on the board.
Yeah, but I reckon scoreboard pressure, as they say in cricket.
But yeah, I'd always go for points on the board. Same when people were saying between Man City and Liverpool, who would you rather be? Whoever's got the most points. As long as you haven't played like 3 or 4 games more than it, and they'd overtake you. But I think points on the board every time.
Even now, so Burnley got 3 games in hand, so Burnley could conceivably win all 3 games and go at 9 points, which you could put them 2 points ahead of Leeds. You'd still rather be Leeds.
Yeah.
I agree. I think the relegation battle.
Sorry, I might contradict myself there. Top of the table,
it's different, yeah.
But at the bottom, you can easily go on 2 or 3 games losing streak, and all of a sudden you haven't done anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd much rather be a Leeds fan than a Burnley fan right now.
I'd rather be a Leeds fan than a Burnley fan, full stop. I like some of the quotes. I've written down some little quotes that came from the Jesse Marsh interview. Just things that he says that are just that he just says that we're not used to hearing. He says the lads worked their butts off, which I quite like. He said they weren't 1-0 down, they were down 0-1.
Oh no.
Which is just brilliant. There were some wild actions. And my personal favourite is when he was asked if Jimenez should have been sent off. He said wait there, hold on. He said he went into the play reckless. He went into the play reckless. Plays are like
that's like an NFL term, isn't
he
it?
Went into the play. But I can't help it. I genuinely like him. I do. I want him to do well. But yeah, we were down 0-1. No, you weren't. You're 1-0 down, Jesse. You 1-0 down.
Yeah.
It's so funny, isn't it? I can't wait for him to get a penalty and see a PK. I want to hear him see a PK.
Because Americans are known for like just reading it as it is, like 0-1 and
well, they have in American football they have if you go like 3-0, that means you're 3 up and 0 losses against you over the 6 year.
Well, 0-3.
0-3. Yeah. So that's 0 for 3. If I'm 0 for, I don't even know which way around it is. If I'm 0 for 3, I'm either doing really well or really badly.
0-3 means you've won none and lost 3.
Okay.
Because they always look at it as win and loss, don't they? So it'd be 0-3 would be
no W's and L's. W's and L's these days. Not even wins and losses, Glenn. The W's and L's, man. You got to take those L's.
You don't want the L's, though, because if you have too many, you go down.
Yeah. Sure. This is the W's. That's all I'm looking for. But yeah, I did quite like that. The lads did work their butts off.
Yeah.
I'll say that much.
Yeah, anyway, should we go on?
Yeah, but actually,
we actually have some listeners from America, so let's not offend them, Jan.
Well, no, I'm not offended. I don't want to offend people. It's just I've said I quite like them. All right, maybe I was offending them, but I do like them. I actually want them to do really well. But I do this. It's interesting. I want to hear PK so bad.
Yeah,
penalty kick, PK. Are they staying up now?
Leeds, yeah, I think, yeah.
Who's going down then? Side note.
Side note, who's going down? I'd love to see Everton go down. I'd love to see him go down because, yeah, I just would love to. I'm not going to get too much into it, but I'd love to see Everton go down.
Yeah.
But then Burnley and Watford, like, I don't enjoy watching them play very often.
Watford might survive, you know.
I think they might. If I was to.
But in place of who, that's the thing. Who's going to go down?
I think it's gone into a mini league again. It's gone into a mini. You got between the four: Everton, Watford, Burnley, and Norwich. Because Frank's losing the plot a little bit. Have you seen his
Yeah, he's like
after the game on Sunday because we recorded this Monday. Yesterday, Palace beat them 4-0.
Battered them as well
in the FA Cup quarter final, and he came out and said sometimes you have to just stop putting your arm around players and they just need to have a pair of bollocks and start playing.
Yeah, I genuinely said that.
Yeah, and like got bleeped out. He's like, and that's a football term. Like, nobody's like,
didn't he break his hand or something? Like punching like the wall or something in celebration at Newcastle.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he broke his hand now, but I know his celebration was mentioned, and yeah, he's mentioned that players need to have bollocks to play and needs people to step up. And
he said a lot. Like I knew I looked at the league table. I knew it wasn't going to come in with a magic wand. I knew it wasn't going to be just play. Like everything's been like I came into a mess. Like it's always been a mess. So it's not going to be a quick fix.
You only admit using a relegation battle last week.
I know. He's not even looked at the table yet. So he sounds like a guy. Not getting his excuses in, but he sounds like a guy. Mm-hmm. If I was reading between the lines, I would say Lampard is reaffirming that, making sure we all know
it's not his fault
that they were awful beforehand.
Yeah.
So that's what it seems. Do you know what I mean? If you read between the lines on his quotes,
do you think he's pitching for his job if they go down to the Championship? As in, like, this is not my fault. I'm the man to bring him back up because I inherited this team.
No, I don't know. Maybe yeah, but maybe is he just?
Because I even heard talks today on
Rafa coming back. What?
on do they need to get rid of Lampard? Which is mental. How long's he been there? What?
Half an hour.
You went 4-game losing streak. They won 1, lost 1.
Won at Brentford.
1, 2, 4,
in the cup
5,
in his first game, wasn't it?
So he's done like maybe 6 or 7 games in the Prem, and there's whispers of getting rid of him already.
Oh, it's mad that like.
I don't think they will, but the whispers have started. So,
on a total side note, Lampard really could do with. He's a super high-profile player, which has meant he's landed some big gigs. He could really do with being in like League One for a couple of seasons, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Cutting his teeth, like actually like learn proper management, like learn like like a Joey Barton-esque kind of like he's down at Bristol, like
Fleetwood and all sorts of him.
Yeah. Like that's what he could, because I don't think he's naturally a great manager as of yet.
No, you're right. So almost like, again, this is no disrespect to the Scottish League, but where Steven Gerrard went up and like managed in Scotland for a bit, and like where I know
it's a massive club, but Rangers are huge, by the way.
It's huge. It's a massive, but every game's not week in, week out, like, because the Premier League you can get beat every week.
Yeah, they'll probably coast through like at least half of the games a season. They'll probably coast through. And maybe it's the whole Lampard Gerrard thing. Maybe they can't play in the same midfield and can't manage in the same league. Maybe that's it. Maybe Gerrard needs to go out right wing and allow Lampard to flourish.
Can you imagine them two doing like Liverpool, like joint managers?
Aye. Yeah. I don't that's going to happen.
No. Speaking of Steven Gerrard, they got beat 1-0 by Arsenal.
Yeah. Although he actually did to jump ahead to some post-match quotes. So Saka had a bit of a dig at the referee leaving the pitch because he's going to get kicked a few times. And Gerrard went into this like monologue that he's had 16 operations. He can't go to the gym at the minute because like of a career in football. And if you want to be this sort of play at the highest level, you've got to toughen up basically.
Well,
like, all right, mate. thought that was a bit.
Said
Saka, he's only like 11 Saka, isn't he?
Yeah.
Don't say that about wee Saka.
Was that directed at him then?
Yeah, because I think there was a question fielded to him about the fact that Saka had maybe had a bit of a conversation with the referee about being. Yeah, I don't know if it was like, did your boys target Saka or was but yeah, he's had 16 operations, me. Yeah. Back in my day. Yeah.
You see on after the game, Gary Hall, everyone's favourite pundit, had a go at Arsenal the way they celebrated the win.
I know, yeah.
But then
over.
But then about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, when Villa won a game, Steven Gerrard did that. The fist pump, where like that picture where like went on and was like Steven Gerrard's passion. So when it was Villa, it was like passion. But when it's Arsenal, it was like over the top celebrating.
Have you not seen Conte every time the score? He was absolutely nuts.
Yeah. But then you remember back in the day when Klopp took all the Liverpool players, they all like held hands after drawing like the West Brom or someone like and sang Kumbaya in front of like the Klopp and stuff. Remember that when he took them all out? They all like bowed to it. Yeah. So maybe he's just trying to get a bit of...
Can I just say the best one is still Big Ralph crying. Big Ralph. Well, Hassan just crying his eyes up. He's got a draw at Liverpool.
Maybe that's what Frank Lampard needs to do.
Yeah, more tears, Frank.
Yeah,
Let's excuses more tears, pal.
Start crying in the middle of Goodison. That'll go down really well.
Yeah. Anyway, Arsenal, solid performance again.
Yeah.
Really good performance. Saka, Odegaard, Smith. How good is Odegaard, by the way? Like, genuinely, what a signing he's actually been.
But do you think the whole Arsenal team is just quietly going about like the job?
Yeah. As
a group, like the players are coming together. Even like Leno started because Ramsdale was injured. It looks like he's going to be out for some time with a hip injury. And he still went along and was in the dugout and cheering along and just thought like...
I like that, yeah, by the way.
Yeah, must have learned that from Trippier.
Yeah, not Callum Wilson, he's not been there. Yeah, they are quietly going about their business and pretty well. You have to probably say that some of the egos maybe that were maybe hindering the side, I think we mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, have maybe been eradicated, even though Aubameyang scored twice in the El Clasico the other day. Yesterday it was.
Look, there's no denying it. Aubameyang's a great player when he's happy and when everyone's like, when he gets to do what he wants. So
yeah, no, I think big result for Arsenal. This is what Arsenal. This was the kind of, I said it just at the start of the pod. This will be the kind of result Arsenal would slip up on in sort of previous seasons when they could have maybe gunned for something but didn't get the top four, whatever. But now they've got a little bit more consistency where they generally are beaten. I mean, they were in the game against Liverpool for about 60 minutes and then Liverpool just blew them away off Liverpool just due to teams. But they were in the game. And they maybe are only a couple of players away from... We say this all the time, don't we? But they genuinely are probably only a couple of players away from being like, not title contenders, but like solid top four, banking on them. All right, they're in the top four. Who's going to be like one of the other? Do you think that kind of level?
See, like the defence is coming together nicely.
Really nicely, yeah.
So let them play for another season. Defensive mid, they need someone where...
Thomas Partey's super solid, but he's a little injury prone.
So, but who would you play alongside Partey?
Well, they play Xhaka,
but he's
a bit of a he's a liability. That's definitely for sure.
So with them two, where one of them's injury prone, the other one's loves a red card. I think you need that defensive mid, the centre forward that's going to get you 20 goals plus in the Premier League. You fill them two positions then.
Yeah, because Lacazette is really good at knitting like the team together. He plays like Giroud rule kind of really well in terms of like things bounce off of him. I imagine he looks like he is a really... I don't know why I assume this, but I assume he's really good in the dressing room, like a good senior pro.
Yeah.
He strikes me as that kind of way.
But also with Arsenal, how much depth they have. I know they've got like the three which are playing behind, like Lacazette. They've got
the four because they've got Martinelli in there as well.
Yeah, so I was going to say they've got like four competing for them three spaces, and they've got
Pepe.
I was going to say Pepe, that £72 million midfield. That's just now what does he do now?
I don't know. I think he's just a bit cooking now and then.
So
Now he comes on. He plays little cameo roles and just does it all right when he comes on for a £72 million player. Like, but
Mental, hasn't
that's in it. But yeah, you're probably right. A bit more depth in a few areas is probably what they need. Like Tierney's really good, but also is injury prone. But then they've got that. Not Timakaas, that left back that played against Newcastle. Remember, I can't remember his name. Young fella that stayed in the side.
I know what you mean, but yeah.
So he played. So yeah, they could probably do with a bit of depth across a few areas, but all in all, like
starting 11 is decent, but yeah.
And they are now beating basically everyone who's not as good as them, which is most teams in the league, really. So who's getting top 4 then?
I'm still tempted to think somehow
Spurs.
Man United might still pull us off.
I don't think Man United.
I hope I'm wrong. I just think Arsenal's got like 2 or 3 really tough games. Spurs have somehow managed to be Spurs, and like whenever they set the goal, something they find ways not to make it happen. Unless Conte can galvanise that.
Well,
team.
realistically, actually, that was a big win for Spurs. Actually, it wasn't mentioned before, but that was the first win they've had when they've played. So that in 7 games in a row, they'd won, lost. And when they've played midweek after playing in the weekend or vice versa, they've always struggled. So when they've had 7 days under Conte, they've been good.
So who's finishing 4th in your eyes?
I think Arsenal.
Yeah.
Really closely run by. It actually, do you know what? Isn't
There's an North London derby coming up.
Is that next? I think that might be next, or at least a couple of, maybe in the next few games. That's massive, by the way. That.
Now, I'm not sure if it's next, because they still said it's still to be advertised by Sky.
Right. Okay. So when that comes round,
that
could be like, that could sort of be the
huge
kingmaker, if you like, for top 4. Man United, when all said and done, Man United will have 2 or 3 more results where they should batter a team and they don't, and that's what it comes to. So Man United's running. If they're playing Chelsea, Liverpool, City, you'd probably say, we'll probably get 7 points out of them, maybe like randomly. But if they played Watford, Everton, and some other team down the bottom, they might lose all 3 or get three draws out of it. So
it's interesting that the Premier League's got so many different battles going on now.
Yeah,
poor Chelsea just then 3rd. No one's really talking about them.
Like cut adrift, didn't they?
Yeah.
Just plod along.
Mid-table game, Leicester beat Watford, Brentford 2-1. Some good goals.
Yeah.
I'm talking about that one.
Castagna, a really good goal. Madison, I'll say this, good free kick, but he dives to get it. Players come at the back of you, he just steps across them, totally sets a contact up, and this and just throws himself on the ground. Like, yeah. I think it's a dive, definitely. It's not even highlighted, no one even questions it. Do you know what I find quite frustrating? If that was like, because that's an English guy who's like often on the media, he's on soccer every now and then, he's kind of well liked, just gets away with it. It's a dive, man. It's just a dive.
But it's a clever dive. They know what they're doing.
I don't care.
They know what to do with that.
But yeah, really good free kick. Brentford, just Brentford or just do what Brentford do.
Talk about that anymore?
Basically, yeah. No, not
okay.
really.
FA Cup semi-final. Chelsea, we've got Palace, City, Liverpool. I heard a good stat today. I heard a couple. So Patrick Vieira, as a player and a manager, is undefeated in 19 games in the FA Cup.
Because didn't Arsenal have a massive hold over it for a long time, didn't they, Arsenal FA Cup wise? So he must have.
I'm guessing so. If there's 19 games,
he must have not played in it for you, because they didn't win every FA Cup, but they certainly won quite a few over. I think they've won more than anybody else, though. Arsenal, they're the leading FA Cup holders or whatever champions. But that's an interesting stat. 19 games.
19 games as a player and a manager unbeaten in the FA Cup.
Nuts.
Class, isn't it? And it's been 7 seasons since no team outside the Premier League has made it to the semis.
Well, to be expected now that the money's
in
the Premier League.
It's so separate, isn't it? Like, where because before you heard the odd story and
the Boreham Woods and that, they're coming less and less, aren't they, those?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think there's obviously the top 3 in there which you'd expect to see. And
City will win that, I think. City will win. Yeah. Depends. Liverpool, 100%. Funny, Liverpool might well win the Premier League. They generally might.
Still on for the quadruple.
Yeah, but I was going to say they might well win the Premier League. But if you look at Liverpool, that you'd probably say they were like a cup team, in a sense that like toe to toe with anybody, no one in the world wants to be Liverpool. Where I think like against City, they are amazing, but if the best like the elite teams might be able to think like we can really stifle them here if we close off these little channels of the areas well. But like,
so right now you'd rather play City than Liverpool.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. Aye. Plus, Pep might just randomly rest De Bruyne and like Foden and just play like Grealish and like a couple of guys from the kids. Like, as he loves to randomly wears Klopp's like, nah, start 11, get out there again, back out there again. So, don't know who do you rather play? Who's two questions actually. First of all, who's winning the Premier League?
City. I went to them at the start, so I'm going to.
So it's in City.
I've got to stay City. Yeah.
Is that? I know you went to them at the start, which obviously was the easy shout. With it, I went for the risky, but whatever. Chelsea, what an idiot.
Yeah.
Although if Havertz still keeps scoring goals,
Liverpool and City stop.
Yeah. So who's winning the league? So you're saying City,
yeah.
And who would you rather play? Who's winning the cups and who's winning like Champions League? Because one of the English teams in it, Champions League. It's sort of like bad as that sounds to say. If like Real Madrid get through, they've got. I know City have got. Say for instance, Atletico Madrid have got City. If they get through, they're going to have to play another English team and get beat off them probably because they're better than them. So it's going to be an English team. So who wins the Champions League?
It's a toss of a coin between them two.
City, Liverpool again.
Well, I've said City's going to win the league, so I'll just stick with them for.
So they're the Champions League. So are they winning the FA Cup as well?
Let's go with them for everything. Okay, so Man United have made a shortlist of their 4 managers, which has come out on Sky this afternoon and a few different channels. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
So this is the shortlist.
Cristiano Ronaldo number 1.
So Ronaldo number 1, CR7 number 2,
Cristiano number 3,
and Ronnie 4. No, so 1 Pochettino,
yeah,
2 Ten Hag, 3 Luis Enrique.
Luis Enrique, interesting.
Yeah, and 4 Julian Popper. He's manager of Seville.
Right, okay.
Have a go read that. I've not spelled it right, but yeah.
Julian Lopetegui.
There we go. We'll go with that one.
I don't know who that is.
Manager of Seville. I'm just saying. You're not listening.
or reading.
Yeah. But they reckon it's obviously between Poch and Ten Hag.
Yeah, Ten Hag. Yeah, he's doing a really good job, isn't he?
So I've heard some pundits have said Ten Hag should stay away from Man United if he wants to keep all his reputation, because it's a poison chalice at the moment. There's talk of there's a big £1.5 billion plan to try and rebuild Old Trafford, take up to 80,000 capacity.
What is it, like 75 now?
I mean, the whole place is not looking too good from top to bottom.
I've heard that. It's gotten quite shabby, isn't it?
Yeah, so there's talks of that. Ten Hag's doing a great job at Ajax. Like, why would he want to leave a place where everyone holds him in such high regard? And then, so I think he's probably the better one to go with. But Poch, what's Poch done?
He's never won anything.
He's probably going to win League One with PSG this year.
Didn't win it last year.
Didn't win it last year, you're right. But like, whoever, like you, me could manage PSG and win the league.
Well, in PSG, he's currently managing a bunch of superstars that don't play as a team together and don't press the ball, so he'd be well suited to walking into Man United and doing the exact same there. So
I don't know why Poch comes with this. He did a great job at Southampton, did alright with Tottenham. But
they did really well at Tottenham, mate. He did well.
He hasn't won anything.
No,
so
I know, but
so how is he like this man that everybody all of a sudden wants?
I think it's because
he got knocked out of the Champions League.
Yeah, well, listen, you've only got Neymar, Messi, Mbappe, Di Maria, like Verratti, Marquinhos, Donnarumma. When you've only got those kind of players,
I know, yeah, it's probably
Hakimi, like
and you're trying to win the league.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to compete on 2 fronts, like
exactly. 1.5 fronts because you don't want to Farmers League, so
yeah.
So you know what? It's come on. He's not exactly.
I know he's playing Champions League.
He's not exactly got like Harry Maguire and like Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka that he's going to have it.
So he's got to play Champions League midweek. He's got to play against Lefrog and Farrett and Sunders.
Lefrog and Farrett. No, I like Poch. I think he did a really good job at Spurs. He took Spurs up a level to being like post Gareth Bale proper title contenders. If anything, I mean, they should have won that league, shouldn't they? They really should have won that league when Leicester won it. Like crying all 81 points or something, wasn't it?
Was that the year when they came third in a 2-horse race or something?
Yeah, it was just like the horse had fallen. It was just Poch running over the line, trying to get third. Yeah, so I don't know. I think he'd be good for. The problem is, I think he would have been good for Man United because he would probably instill this high pressure, up the pitch attacking football. But like, he's not doing that at PSG because none of them do that to the PSG. So
no, who are you giving the job to then? That's the shortlist. I really want to see Ten Hag in the Premier League because he's done amazing with Ajax. But I think because Poch is managing the Premier League, I'd probably go Poch. Yeah.
He's usually got big egos and stuff. You're not going to have Ronaldo next season. He's going to go.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Where's he going to go to?
I don't know, like anywhere. The MLS. Go and score 45 goals a half in the MLS. I don't know.
I could go and play for was it Inter Miami and David Beckham's team and
managed by Phil Neville.
Yeah.
They're like third bottom. They're absolutely awful under him. He'll be getting a boot soon.
It'd be another team where Ronaldo's managed by an ex-teammate, won't it?
Just for the boys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think Ronaldo will be there. That's one massive issue. You spend some money on a striker. You spend some money on a midfielder. You spend some money on a centre half. He lost on Harry Maguire. Bam, there you go. Then they're a genuine top 4 team. Getting the height of the pitch.
And then I got some. We'll leave Man United alone. They didn't even play. We're still getting stuck in there. Top 5
positive news that though.
Top 5 assists. Players with assists in the Premier League.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm reading, I can read you right. So if you're going to quiz me,
no, I'm not going to quiz you now. So Trent.
Yeah. 11.
Robertson 10. Salah 10. Pogba 9.
Really?
Them stats must still be off. Do you remember the first game of the season? We had like 4 assists.
Oh, aye.
When beat Leeds 5-1 or 4-1 or something.
Yeah. Didn't he have 6 assists within like the first 3 games of the season? Yeah,
he hasn't done that since then. Bourne 8. So yeah.
Interesting.
So it was interesting that Liverpool's got first, second, and third in the number of assists.
Well, it's interesting that I would have thought somehow Kane or Son would have been close up the list. They seem to be assisting each other.
Sure, by the end of the season we'll get there, but Kane only started playing 2 weeks ago.
That's true.
He's done a lot in a few weeks.
That is true.
But yeah, that wraps it up, mate.
No, that's it, Jordan.
Yeah. We've got one of the worst times now for Premier League fans. We've got the international break.
Yeah. It's rubbish, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Switzerland and Ivory Coast friendlies. You know, like the Premier League fixtures getting piled up. Like looking at the Newcastle, we've got like 5 games in 20 days, and other clubs will have the same as well. We've played more than a bunch of clubs. And you could like just say, look, Gareth, chill out, just take what you want to. We're still going to play some games, ain't
Yeah, you're only going to play your faves anyway, so
yeah.
Doesn't matter who you play this couple of games, you're still going to play Pickford, Maguire.
And how on earth Maguire's being picked over? Like you can think about a handful of players that should be playing over him.
He's never let Southgate down, but
yeah.
But yeah, I really like watching England play the night around it. Like the game itself often when there's, especially because England, we're generally good to watch. If you'd probably say 4 to 5 games, England are enjoyable to watch.
San Marino one, that was an absolute cliffhanger, that one.
That was just best for old Harry Maguire, stick his fingers in his ears.
Yeah.
But
silence the critics.
Yeah. It's went well since.
Yeah.
But no, I think I like the game, and England as a team are enjoyable to watch, and like they're a good young. It's not like Ferdinand and Lampard and Gerrard when they didn't like each other.
That was the golden generation where we won
nothing enough.
Nothing, yeah.
Absolutely noted. Capello and all that. It was just horrible to watch. I didn't enjoy watching England. Well, I enjoy watching England now. The problem is, it's the hype. It's the days before and the days after. It's like the dream team. It's the who's out, who's playing. That's what I miss.
You know, I'm frustrated. It was like the fantasy football. I had an absolute mare. So I managed to put together like 8 players for my team, and I even like took some hits on some points. Brought Cody in. I was like solid clean sheet against Leeds. That backfired. I had Rafinha. He didn't play.
I didn't play.
Ramsdale got injured. So I was doing really well. I was like, not really well, but I'd got like the top 6 or 7%. So I was like pretty chuffed. And then this week, like proper, Saka got us 22 points, and then my team finished on 28.
Whereas Charlie, he was top of one of the leagues I'm in, 7 points. Cresswell was his highest score with 2 points.
Oh no, nightmare.
So he had like 2, 2, 1, 1. So that was.
So now I have like 2 weeks to like the transfers, who to bring in, and I just want to get rid of that last score because that 28 is just staring us in the eyes.
Yeah, that's a defeat maybe before an international break. It's tough. You got to stew over it.
Yeah.
This is why. That's what it's the hype around international football is not as good as the hype around the Premier League.
Yeah.
So the Premier League's all these different little things that are going in. You're looking at what game you're going to be enjoying. It's not the same. Although the actual game itself and the night itself, I really enjoy watching England. Anyway, we'll maybe do a podcast on it.
Yeah, I'm sure over the next 10 days we'll slide international pod into your feeds as well. So
yeah,
as always, thanks for downloading, thanks for subscribing. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe. We're on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, MySpace, Bebo, all the other ones that come along as well. But yeah.
Phone book.
Yeah, as always, thanks for downloading, and we'll catch you soon.